I would now like to invite Ms. Geeta Puri and Ms. Jaya Mehra, founders Ektara Foundation, to come up and introduce the Ektara Karmaveer Chakra and do the honors.
We saw a wonderful performance yesterday by the kids from the Ektara Foundation, some very talented girls and boys who danced for all of us. And I think it was amazing. It gave me goosebumps. And the people behind the entire performance are Geeta and Jaya, who are also Karmaveer Puraskar awardees. They are the founders of Ektara Foundation, doing amazing work trying to mainstream children from the unserved. I don't like calling them underprivileged. Unserved and underserved communities, because they have huge talent out there. It's just that they don't have the opportunity. And if they're given the opportunity, they can probably do much better than most of us sitting in this room. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It's a great honor for us to be here today. Ektara Foundation works towards enhancing the quality of life of the children and women in the slums of Delhi. We are extremely proud of the developments that have taken place at Ektara, particularly the level of awareness spread and the dramatic improvements within the lives of the people we work with closely. Jaya and I believe
that only through a synchronized and collective effort, we can make an attempt to reduce the social divide and provide the underserved youth of India with equal opportunities. We would like to thank iCONGO for recognizing our work and presenting us with the opportunity to facilitate our two young volunteers, Payal and Lata, for their hard work in the youth in community service. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Will Payal and Lata please come on stage?
Yeah.
We'll have to shield read out.
Payal and Lata, please.
The Ektara iCONGO Karmaveer Chakra 2012 for community service goes to, jury choice goes to Ms. Lata. Thank you, ma'am. The Ektara iCONGO Karmaveer Chakra 2012 for community service, public choice, goes to Ms. Payal.
She again is doing very, very amazing work.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Coming to the next award, the Silver Innings iCONGO Karmaveer Chakra 2012. Mr. Sailesh Mishra, founder Silver Innings, could not join us today, so I would like to invite Mr. Jerry to introduce the Silver Innings Chakra. So the Silver Innings iCONGO Karmaveer Chakra 2012 for exceptional work for senior citizens goes to Mrs. Uma Devi Krishnamurthy. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Jerry. I would now like to invite Dr. Sandeep Datta from Skillshare to introduce the Skillshare International Chakra.
Good evening, friends. It's a great pleasure today to be here with you all. And I also thank and congratulate Jerry and iCONGO to organize such a beautiful program for all of us, and also to help us recognizing the skills and talent within the community. I will not speak for very long with the kind of volunteering and program that we are doing in fields in India, but I would just briefly would like to say that when we say volunteering, we start with the question that Jerry referred yesterday, what can I do? From that answer, we take forward that, yeah, we can do something. And when we do something, it is important that we do something well. And when the people are doing something well, it is important to recognize. And as Jerry today also said, that it is important to recognize if somebody is performing well. And that's what exactly in association with iCONGO we're trying to do in the Skillshare Karmaveer Award. We have various excellent volunteers in the communities who are further trained by different technical specialists and experts, but they hardly get chance to have this kind of platform. So we have identified 2 volunteers from our communities who have organized various excluded groups and communities to help us go ahead further. So I would like to invite Mr. Birla, who is here, to get the award from the Skillshare Karmaveer Chakra.
Skillshare International iCONGO Karmaveer Chakra 2012 for sharing skills and improving lives through community volunteerism goes to Mr. Birla Thangathurai.
So there's amazing work happening out there. There are some very unsung heroes. In one of the videos which I use in several learning programs that I do in businesses, there's this video of a vegetable vendor who's built a hospital. She's one of our Karmaveer Chakra awardees. Not many MBAs can even dream of that. But a lady who sells vegetables on the street has built a hospital. She's not only built a hospital, she's had the vision to educate her son and make him into a doctor. Who works in the hospital? He does not own the hospital. He works in the hospital because the hospital belongs to the community, right? And she did this because she lost her husband to gastroenteritis and without any access to healthcare. So you see, I mean, the whole idea was how can we democratize good citizenship and heroism? And there are various people like Birla who are making a huge difference in society, which makes us think, what are we doing? What are we really doing? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The Skillshare International iCONGO Karmaveer Chakra 2012 for sharing skills and improving lives through community volunteerism also goes to Ms. Kalyani Behera. Ms. Kalyani is not here today, so we would like to invite Dr. Dinesh Baliga to receive the award on her behalf. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Next, we have the iCONGO Karmaveer Chakra 2012 Hope Alive Award. And for this, I would like to invite Dr. Chinkolal Thangsing, the founder director of Touch of Hope Foundation, on the stage to introduce the Hope Alive Award and to do the honors.
Dr. Chinkolal Thangsing, I mean, I've spoken about him before. We've been doing great work, but he reminds me of another person who looks exactly like him, and he's another of our unsung heroes who's there in that video, which I actually kind of use as a learning tool in a lot of companies. The other gentleman's name is Chuang Norfel. He's 72 years old now, has never gone to school in his life, unsung, absolutely unsung hero, and probably an unexpected hero because most professors in engineering schools can't even dream of doing what he has done. Chuang Norfel builds glaciers with his bare hands. Along with the community, he builds glaciers. And I remember I was doing this session on leadership with fundamental duties and values in a B school. Not in a B school, sorry, in an engineering school, IIT actually. And I was speaking with the professor the night before and saying that this is what I'm going to show you. And he said, Jerry, it's impossible. You can't build glaciers. It's not possible. Engineering does not allow it. And I told him, I said, you know, the bumblebee also is not supposed to fly as per the law of aerodynamics, but the bumblebee doesn't know that and it flies. I said, Chuang Norfel is the same. He doesn't know what engineering is, so he builds glaciers. And I gave him the book and I said, read the book. And the next morning, he came and said, this is brilliant. I would like to meet the man. I said, you can just go to Ladakh and meet Chuang Norfel because he has no airs or arrogance where you need to take an appointment to meet with him. And I said, he'll share the knowledge about how he does it with you. And after that talk with the engineering students who get subsidized education, because it's mostly the taxpayers who are paying for most people graduating from IIT, I said, what is it that you can do after seeing this film? And one bright young guy got up and said, sir, we end up selling soap. Because most of them go and join Hindustan Lever and PNG.
Thank you. Thank you very much. In 1998, in Delhi, I have opened the first AIDS care home to take care for people with AIDS. And in the time, there was no medicines available in the country, but they were available in the United States or the developed countries, or whether it's UK or Europe. But of course, though those are not available in our country, it is available and accessible by some of my patients who are models or who are designers, because it costs about 50,000 rupees a month just for the HIV medicines then. I had a lot of patients, and then they are dying. We just managed their TB, we just managed their opportunistic infection, but we just were waiting to die because the immune system cannot pick up or kick up. So I had many patients, and one of them I'd like to mention is a lady, and both she and her husband were HIV positive, and she is dying. But she got that spirit to live. She wanted to live so much and said, I've got a daughter who is 11 and 13. I want to see them, grow up and get married. And every single day I go to the clinic, I go to the home, she would say, doctor, is the medicine going to be available in the country? Or when am I going to get it? Every single day for 2 months. And then ultimately, every morning she'll look at me with a smile, because we cared for her. And the only thing she said that kept me alive is that I am hoping, doctor, that you'll find me those medicine. So therefore, what kept her alive was hope. In today's world, a lot of rich and poor, some of them even very rich, they have everything they want, but they got something to be depressed, or they fail in something, or they don't make the extra $1 million. They go into depression, and then some of them even ended their lives. So it is not money, it is not the wealth you have, it is not the material things you have, but that hope in you that really is so important. Therefore, Touch of Hope and iCONGO, we are grateful to be able to bring out this first Hope Alive award. Is basically not stopping at doing good, but to continue to keep hope alive. So the hope has to be kept alive by the constant execution of being caring, being compassionate, and being loving and kind. So this year, this is the first year we are starting off the Hope Alive, where we will have more and more people in all walks of life who has done a tremendous thing, which is just like being there for them and give people hope. So that's the main reason we have started. And then this year, we have two wonderful people. One is a lady from the hills of Mizoram who is a nun, But when she saw an abandoned HIV child, look at it, and out of compassion, she she moved out of the convent and started a care home on her own. And secondly, we have another person who is a doctor working for HIV, working with children in India and other parts of the world, but today have a successful software company that continue to work for HIV and reach out to hundreds and thousands of people around the world, giving hope. Thank you.
The iCONGO Karmaveer Chakra 2012 Hope Alive Award goes to Mr. Jagdish Harsh.
I would like to invite Jerry. He's on board on the advisory board of Touch of Hope to hand in hand.
Thank you, sir. The iCONGO Karmaveer Chakra 2012 Hope Alive Award also goes to Ms. Lucy Remruate. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Next, we have the Road Safety Organization iCONGO Karmaveer Chakra 2012. And for this, I would like to invite Mr. Sandeep Sharma from RSO to come up and introduce the RSO Karmaveer Chakra and to do the honors.
I'm actually feeling very humble while sitting and watching you from the stage. I don't expect myself to be standing here, so I'll probably hide and say what I want to say. I know many of you might have heard about a poem which is called Not My Business. I'm just taking 2 extra minutes, sorry. It's a poem which was written by one of the very famous eminent speaker, which is known as Neil Ostern. It's a poem about what used to happen in Nigeria, and it was about how the people used to be taken away from their home by police, and they never came back. So this writer keeps telling about various stories about how his friends vanished, how his family members vanished, and every time he would say, it's not my business, I'm not affected. Many of us discuss in the morning that, why should I do something if it's not my child, or if it is not what is affecting me? And we all came back to a single conclusion that it is the heart or the feeling that we get of helping others that helps us. So 2 years back, I was conferred as a Karmaveer Chakra awardee by our friends here, and I still don't know why, even though I nominated myself for that. But this year what I did was, I said, okay, I would like to introduce a new award for something which is so common in our life. It starts in the morning, it finishes in the night, and we never see the end of it, and we always just put a blame on somebody else. And that's how we drive on the road, how people drive on the road, how we react on the roads, and how the road safety impacts us. For those who may be aware, and for those who are not aware, we have amongst the worst records in road safety in the world. We have a city which has 72 million vehicles where we are currently are. 7.2 million vehicles where we currently are. which is amongst the highest density of vehicles which can be brought in any one place on the density of the roads. And all of you have commuted and reached here safely. So first of all, I would like to congratulate you all that you have reached safely to your destination. And I request to the God that all of you will reach back home safely. It is not the efforts of only the police officers or the road designers who have brought you here. There are many community officers who work behind it. And this time I am nominating a group from Gurgaon who are road safety volunteers, citizens like you, who work in all the posh areas you can think of, who work in the MNCs, who run their own businesses, do not need to do anything at all. But on the night of Friday, when many of your friends, your colleagues, some of you and others drink and drive, they get out of their houses, leave their families at home at risk, on the road at 5 a.m., 3 a.m., 2 a.m., they're doing the drink driving tests. Ignoring that their children are waiting at home, they get shouted at, and they sometimes get even hit by the vehicles. So I have few colleagues with whom I work, and I really feel, kind of very, very humble again. We have seen many, many different cases by different people who are trying to help society and make the change. So I would like to request, yeah.
I just want to ask you, why did we choose you for the Karmaveer Chakra?
Just a small introduction about myself. I'm a transportation professional by education. And another incident, we were discussing again in the morning why something instigates you to be part of this. While coming back from my, let's say the most important trip in one's life is a kind of a honeymoon. So I was coming back from my honeymoon, driving a brand new car, and I hit a trolley in front of me. And it was such a major accident that the car went into the total loss. The first ambulance which came in said that please, give respirator to the driver and all that. And I came out to the car and I started walking. I still get goosebumps, I still get tears in my eyes when I think of that moment. The impact was so hard that my wife, who was sitting on the back seat, broke the car's front dashboard and almost went 10 feet ahead of the car. And I survived, she survived, we still don't know why. So since then, I've started to work on road safety, just ensuring that you reach your destination. The purpose of what, I'll probably take 2 more minutes once they are on stage to explain what these guys are doing as well.
No, so I just want to ask you that. Not that I did not know, I know why we chose you, and you had self-nominated. The whole idea was how could we democratize active citizenship? What do you do otherwise, Sandeep? Is this your profession?
No, I'm a management consultant. I did mention it the other day. I work with PricewaterhouseCoopers.
I've been bashing them up.
And yes, so I do have a very challenging job, as people from the management consulting field would know. That working in the management consulting is completely different ball game. But yes, this is where I am. This is where I belong. This is what my passion is, and that is what I have to do because I have a family at home.
Thank you. What I was trying to establish with that, Sandeep, is that we do not expect everybody to give up their business as usual and join the NGO sector or join social service or join the government service. We say do what you do. Be a management consultant, be a corporate executive, but do not forget your duty towards the nation and society. And I think that's what you were chosen for, Sandeep. Thank you so much.
The RSO iCONGO Karmaveer Chakra 2012 for positive difference on Gurgaon roads goes to Mr. Vedant Kaushal.
So I just want to take that extra 2 minutes about explaining what these guys do. Many of you probably may not be aware, but the road safety typically works on 3 E's. And the first of the 4 most important E is the education. Where you are taught when you go for a driving license on how we should behave on the roads, where you learn in the school on how the education should be and the driving behavior should be. The second part of the component is the engineering. And the third part of the component is the enforcement, which is what our law officers do. Now, these guys actually, even though they are citizens, undertake all the 3 activities in one go. Let me give you examples. In education, many of you come from Gurgaon. I saw the number of plates, HR26 out there. Do know that the worst problem in Gurgaon city roads is the cab drivers. We all know how they drive. We just, try to get out of the ways. The people standing here, they go to the call centers, teach those drivers on how to read road signs, tell them why it is important to be 2 minutes late rather than never arrive at their destinations. They go into one step further. Being me as a transportation professional, I can actually modify junctions and all. Many of you have seen various road improvements in Gurgaon. So these guys help in recording the entire scenario of how you travel on the road, do the analysis, sitting at home, midnights, burn oil and all that thing, and come with simulation exercises which tells you if we do these exercises, how the roads will change. And still, we still have chaos on the road. These guys take the support of the law, and then they move into the enforcement part of it, working with the traffic police in enforcing law to you and issuing challan to the authority.
Thank you, sir. The RSO iCONGO Karmaveer Chakra 2012 also goes to Mr. Rajiv Kumar Nandwani. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Jerry Almeida to come up on stage and present the Karmaveer Chakras. I'm privileged to announce the following Karmaveer Chakras 2012 award winners. The first is Ms. Mandira Srivastav. Thank you, ma'am. Next is Professor Yugal Rayalu.
Professor Yugal Rayalu did reach out to people he knows in the media, and they've been writing about him. And you can see it's headline news right out there in Indian Express. And all of Yugal Rayalu's work has been highlighted. That's what the Karmaveer Chakra does, basically. Yeah, we have no delusions about the award because we refuse to give any cash because we don't want people just coming in here for the cash, right? We don't want people coming here because we give them free tickets. We'll never do that. What we will do is we will recognize people for their good work because we believe that that work is important, that content, the body of that work is important, and that's exactly what the Rex Fellowships is about. The first batch of Rex Fellowships, we didn't give you much time to kind of react to this, but in the future, all Rex Global Fellows, I was a little disheartened, though I'm not going to refuse and decline it to any of you, especially some of my young friends, and I hope they get my drift. I was a little disheartened to see that most of you are not here. The whole idea was, how do you benefit from this knowledge? How can this knowledge empower you further to do more, to be more, and to commit more? Right? And if you don't think that it's worthy of sitting here to share your knowledge and imbibe that knowledge, I don't think we want those kind of people in the Karmaveer Chakra or the Rex Fellowships in the future. I kind of wouldn't say despise, it's a very strong word. I kind of get very wary of people who think that they know everything in life. Because go back to Albert Einstein, who said that all I know is a speck of dust on the seashore. And there are scientific studies being done to figure out how much of Albert Einstein's brain did he apply. It's some pegged between 12 to 18%. So if he applied 12 to 18%, hamari auqat hi kya hai? So please keep an open mind to learning. And in the future, I hope the entire Karmaveer global community over here, the fellowship community, agrees that we should only give it to people who attend all days, diligently, religiously, share knowledge, exchange views, and decide how to make the change together. Do you agree with me? Yes? Let's have a louder yes or a no. I'm open to disagreement. Okay, thank you. So that's Professor Yugal Rayalu. I just had to add that so that everybody gets...
Thank you, sir. The award also goes to Ms. Nilanjana Sanyal. Her brother, Anorban Sanyal, will receive the chakra on her behalf.
The reason I ask this is because I think we in India have this culture of again only going for when we are being recognized and then moving away when others are being recognized. It's a sorry culture. You won't see this in a lot of other countries. The culture of sports is again not there in our country. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to embarrass you, but I'm just trying to, because the whole idea is how can we build a positive culture? You go for a sports meet, the moment India is losing, other people are being booed. What is the message we are sending out? Next time, please try and do it. I'm surely not going to use the chakra to deserve it. Try and be able to share your views.
The award goes to Ms. Shikha Kalita. Thank you, ma'am. The Karmaveer Chakra 2012 also goes to Mr. S.U. Rathore. Thank you, sir. The award is also being given to Mr. Sanjay Rajora. Thank you, sir. The Karmaveer Chakra also goes to Mr. Gaurav Mehta. Thank you, sir. Our next awardee is Mr. Shailesh Shetty. Thank you, sir. The award also goes to Mr. Akshay Abraham. Thank you, sir. The award is also being conferred to Ms. Shamika. Thank you, ma'am. The award also goes to Mr. Dilip Sahu. Thank you, sir. The award is also being given to Ms. Nisha Subramanian Kunju. Thank you, ma'am. The award also goes to Ms. Ria Saxena. Thank you, ma'am. The Karmaveer Chakra goes to Mr. Karunkara M. Reddy. That's all for the Karmaveer Chakras. Today, we also have our Rex Fellows with us. So I would like to invite Mr. Jerry to introduce the Rex Global Fellowships.
Done that actually. So the Rex Global Fellowships are people that we've chosen and have been chosen by some of our close associates. The Karmaveer Chakra awardees that you saw are people who applied through the website, the Right Every Wrong website. And then we decided that we would also kind of create a more inclusive fellowship where we bring in people from all walks of life. So you have Colonel Ratan Singh over there, who's a 80-plus-year-old man who's doing phenomenal work for the society. You have Devendra Tak over there, who's been working in the field of communication with several NGOs. You have a young author budding over there called Simar Aluwalia. And there are several people over there. There's Sahil Malhotra, who's set up his own IT company and hopes to make a difference. So welcome all of you, and I hope the journey begins well, because all that begins well ends well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have the Karmaveer Chakra in 3 categories. So there's going to be the bronze, and this is how the journey progresses. And depending on what exactly you tell us about the work you're doing, you can move to the silver category. So the journey moves on. And then, based on the work that you're doing, and it all depends on the feedback that we're getting from you online, because the website is ready, you can just keep posting whatever you're doing. The Facebook group has been created. We'll monitor that. The more we know about what you're doing, you can then progress to the gold. And maybe in the next 3 to 5 years, you can progress to the Karmaveer Puraskar. And then, of course, you can progress to the Karmaveer Golden Candle. The whole idea is, how do we kind of ensure that what you're doing is recognized, and at the same time know more about what you're doing. We want to be in touch with you, know more about what all our crusaders are doing. And it's going to be an eclectic bunch, because it's not just people from the corporate sector and the media sector. Yes, we have all of them. We have young professionals who left their jobs and joined as volunteers for Teach for India. We have people from the armed forces. We have people from the police forces. We have whistleblowers. We have voices of conscience. We have voices of dissent. We have people like Mr. Ravi Chaudhary. You have people like Yogesh Kochar. You have people from all walks of life. So benefit from each other. Give and take, of course. Benefit from each other, I said. It's got to be mutual benefit. Benefit is all, the concept of benefit is always mutual. So keep that in mind, and please reach out to all the fellows who are here. If there's anybody who wants to add anything from amongst the fellows, please feel free. We can open the mic now for some time. Bosco? How can we make the fellowship more robust is something I leave to you. I've asked Colonel Sanjeev Datta, who's also one of the fellows, to kind of work with the group to see what are the elements that we could bring into the fellowship. If there's anybody who wants to contribute, Aditya, Simar, please feel free. I want the fellowships to be owned by the fellows. No suggestions? Yeah, that's what. If there's anything that you want to do to make it more robust, make it better, it has to get better, right? It has to evolve.
Hello. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. It was great to have us all here for 3 days, and I think it was a learning experience. And I think we all learned a lot from a lot of each other's experiences. And I think the
Simar, you'll have to face the camera. I'm sorry.
I think the voices that we heard were really important, but I think what's really much more important than that is that those voices don't die down and they're not lost in the din. So what we need to do is we need to carry those voices forward. We need to keep these conversations going, and we need to keep up this enthusiasm and let it flow so that, you know, we can effectively merge into this stream. And a lot of people who are looking for support or leaving their day jobs and getting into full-time volunteering and other such CSR initiatives or other things that people have started. And I think that's very important. And one thing we can do is that the Facebook group that Rex has started, we need to, first of all, just go and join there, because I think we all have Facebook accounts. So all we need to do is just join the group and start talking, you know. So, and whosoever needs to affiliate and connect with anybody who they would like to work with, or, you know, somebody's idea or some issue is close to heart, I think we need to get on with that. And that I think is the first step to moving towards that. And I think we have a great set of mentors. So I think people who are looking for certain issues, like we have doctors here, we have engineers, we have people working in different fields and social workers. So I think people, you know, especially young fellows like myself, we can take mentors and, you know, we can get fresh guidance for people, you know, who are already on that way, that somebody are, you know, some people are just accomplished in their fields. So I think that would be a great start, and that's, I think that would be a good suggestion for everybody to take on.
Thank you, Simar, and thank you for showing the initiative to make the Facebook group. I want this process to be owned by the fellows. The whole idea of creating these fellowships is we can't do everything, so we want more people to do it. You have a lot of established authors in the group. You have Oswald there, so please feel free to pick on their brains for the book that you're writing. Yes. Okay, we have 2 microphones floating there. Darpan has some suggestions. We'll come then to Devendra before we start giving out the fellowships.
I think there are 2 things I wanted to share, Jerry, one, and with the gathering, is that a lot of people who have not yet taken the leap, like me, and still on the nebulous process, I think one thing which will be very come handy, we can have centers, possibly 2 or 3 centers. One could be Delhi, Gurgaon, NCR, second could be Bangalore and Bombay, and we can have actually offline meetings once in 2 months, because a lot of us will not be able to meet each other. So this could be one meetups which could actually, you know, can conduct, so that, for example, wherever we approach, there are these senior people who can actually help people like us and sort of shape up and take it to the next level. And the second is, I think the website, the Rex website, can possibly have all the details, possibly maybe not, I don't know, depending upon each individual's preference, could have the contact and the email ID.
Absolutely.
So we can actually log in and actually connect with those people who are there. So I think these are the 2 ideas which I think could take really us in a, you know, in long run could help us to give shape to our dreams.
Brilliant. Thank you, Darpan. Would you own this process?
I would definitely.
We
own
love
it.
suggestions, but we want people to own up the process also.
Delhi, Gurgaon, and I can start off the Delhi, Gurgaon chapter.
Great. You can also link up with Shivani, who's also a Rex Karmaveer Global Fellow.
Surely,
and
surely.
she actually kind of is the person who does all our websites pro bono.
Surely,
The Rex
surely.
website is in her custody.
Cool,
So whatever you want to do, feel free. It belongs to the community now.
Thanks.
I mean, there's that much we can do. We
No,
need
no, I'm
more-
saying this
more
is
support.
going to be. I'm
Absolutely.
just floating,
I love the suggestion.
floating an idea
And-
because what happens is after that time, sometime it becomes little
Absolutely.
loosened, you know.
So like Gautam Buddha said, let's act on the other idea. Yes. May we have the microphone here, please? Hunur, would you just flash the Facebook link? We have a page called Rex Ideas for Action. You can join that page and you can also join this group. Yes. It's called Rex Karmaveer Global Fellowships. Yes, sir.
I find it amazing and sad that in a country where there's so much to be done and there are so many of us over here who are doing, so many great things, the focus always of the media in particular is always upon film awards. You have about 10 film awards going around all over the year. If you watch the news channels, you find all the horrible things happening on the news. And we know that the newspapers are, totally taken over by page 3 celebrities and, some Hollywood film stars whom we don't really get to know about. I feel that, the Rex Fellowship in particular, through its network, I mean, will also extend your network, so we'll have more people coming in from the community level. And I, having worked with a few NGOs, I've worked at the field, and I find a girl who, for example, fights to stay in school and to delay her marriage and, convinces her parents and the community to stop her own marriage and other people's marriages is a hero. And no one really knows who she is. There are people who, convince their parents to build toilets in their homes, and these are all very important issues. And I think as the network expands, that's our responsibility to find those people and to get them over here. And, we are just people who are just the coordination, coordinators who can enable those people to be brought up. And one day, hopefully, the media will realize that there are a lot of good things happening, a lot of positive stories, and they can begin talking about those. Well, the sad thing was that yesterday in the press conference, there was a bit of media, but I wish there had been more because there were so many interesting stories. And like someone said, I mean, it's like a beacon of hope was, really, brought alight yesterday.
Yes.
So our job is to really keep the network, the candles, lit, and to get more people into the fold.
Thank you, Devendra. And since you're in the field of communication, your network would surely help. Our PR agency, who again work pro bono with us, they are working behind the scenes, so all the press releases, along with photographs, the follow-up has been done with the media. But there's that much we can do with the media because we don't like to beg, right? So, but at the same time, I'm happy to say that the Karmaveer website and the Right Every Wrong website is a repository which a lot of media depends on to find their unsung hero stories. So a lot of, even People magazine has a People Heroes story now. And we have a partnership with them. So we're trying to do that. But if you could own this process, and yes, I'm very happy to hear what you said, that help us find the right fellows. It's got to be an inclusive program. I had nominated one person who is autistic, but he does brilliant work with Action for Autism, Vivek. He was here with his father on the first day, Colonel Bala, but he couldn't sit through, so he's not here with us today. But yes, include people. Please include people, yeah. Jagdish?
I have a feedback that if we could possibly formalize the feedback process and actually make a feedback form. A lot of people do not speak up or we do not have enough time. And then classify, collate that information, and that would also kickstart the discussion going on the Facebook page and wherever it is.
So I've asked Colonel Datta, Colonel Sanjeev Datta, may we have a show of hand? Colonel Sanjeev Datta is over there. I've requested him. He's also a Rex Karmaveer Global Fellow. He's doing some brilliant work on life skills and things like that. So he's going to coordinate that. So please feel free to share the feedback with him. We are very open to feedback. Feedback is the breakfast of champions, right? So
right. So if I could work with you, because I constantly work on this sphere, so maybe the feedback form could be drafted and circulated amongst us, and so that it can get better, the feedback form. And second is the social media strategy, because someone today was talking about the Twitter handle. So that we don't have a vague message going around. So somebody makes Rex idea, somebody makes hash something, so that we have one social media strategy. All those who understand social media amongst us, there are many IT people. So they could have a small email chat, maybe group, and then we decide that this is our hashtag for these things.
Who volunteers to own up that process?
I have more than 4,000 Twitter followers.
Great, fine. So see, you give the suggestion and you own the process. Brilliant.
Yes, so you hear
and Sahil can work along with you. Yeah, right, Sahil? Good. I like the initiative. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Rahul Saxena. May we have the microphone here, please?
I've had an offline chat about this with a few of the fellows. The point is, I realize that there are several areas of interest, and they fall broadly in 3 or 4 clusters. There's some on climate, and there was some on gender issues. Majority of them were in the area of children. And there are lots of people who bring different things to the table. So I was suggesting if there could be a program that could be chalked out, identify a set of children who could be exposed to drama, and then music, and then art, and then quiz, and then sports, and in some way map it to see where we were and where we reached at the end of a year, and build it as a case study and then take it forward as a rollout.
Brilliant suggestion, Rahul. I'm fully for it. And the whole idea, I mean, it's a democratic process. And
Yeah,
that's the
so
reason
just
I
wanted to share it in a
opened the
larger
floor.
forum and get a buy-in. But then
Absolutely.
I think some of us can put our heads together and see how geographically we break the boundaries and make it happen. That's the challenge.
So you have all of them here, ask
Yeah,
them to buy in.
so
yeah.
we will do that. We'll take it up on the Facebook thing.
Brilliant. Yes, Darpan, you'll have to take the microphone. We're recording this, so we are kind of archiving everything, yes.
Is that in terms of post that, I mean, thanks to you also, you gave me the idea in terms of that, some of these concepts, if they can be an incubation cell within Rex, for example, some of them take little time. You know, there are a lot of elements to the whole process, and you being a trainer, you could also help us in certain skill set, which we might have. Some of it is in dormant, some of it, it's not non-existent. And so there are multiple skill sets which we talk about. So if we can actually have incubation cell within Rex, which people actually within, I think there is so much of knowledge here only from various dimensions, can come tremendously handy.
Brilliant. So, Darpan, at our end, what we're going to do is we're going to make a booklet of our first cadre of Rex Global, Karmaveer Global Fellows, with your photograph, with your profiles and details of what you're doing. And I'll be circulating that everywhere where I meet people and I train them, and also in forums where I speak. So that's from my end, and maybe you'll get a lot of support from what we are doing over there.
Yeah, I'm saying that could be possible that, for example, people here only can impart training. Like I can do digital media and strategy.
Sure.
You can do, so I'm saying each one can teach one some sort of way. I don't know, I mean, I have not constructed it in my mind.
Sure. So
but incubation is one possibly idea which can
build on the
sort
idea. We are open. I mean, it's like I said, it's not our process anymore. It's your process. Yes, Aditya? Any suggestions?
Nothing very original. I just wanted to actually say what Rahul said, that because we had this discussion, and he works in the field with children. And what I felt was that this is a fantastic avenue or a forum where people can meet, interact, and then wherever our interests or our energies or our focuses synergize with each other, we can have smaller groups within this. And like what Yogesh had said, that someone provides steel, someone provides ceramics, someone provides some land, and very soon a hospital comes up. So do that with our own services, because I mean, frankly, I do quizzes. That's a tool, that's a medium that one can use to outreach, to sensitize people, to generate awareness, and if anyone wants to use my services, please do let me know. And if I think that I can use my abilities to enrich your mission, I would like to contact you and do that as well. So we might have smaller clusters within this entire grouping and synergize our energies to work together.
So I'm happy to see that the objective of the mission that we started with to get Rex Karmaveer Global Fellows together is already happening. I can see that synergies have been built over here. And again, grateful to Kaizad to get me thinking in this direction. Yes, any other suggestions?
Yeah. Jerry.
Yes, Tanzan.
Each fellows are individually doing outstanding work.
Absolutely.
But collectively we can do much better and much bigger with a greater impact. But in order to do that, we need to identify a common issue, okay, on which everybody can collectively put their effort wheresoever they may be. So I got a suggestion. Each year, iCONGO, can we come up with the theme that for this year, we are going to work on this particular theme? It may be environment, it may be climate change, it may be gender discrimination, it may be education, it may be health for all, so that all the fellows are putting their efforts to that particular goal, which is affecting the larger population.
Brilliant, brilliant suggestion, Stanton. Brilliant.
Okay, and in addition to that, like Jerry, you put lots of efforts in bringing best of people as a rock star. They share best of knowledge and experience. But can we create a mechanism through which you are establishing a sustained link between the mentor and the mentee? Yeah, it's not a one-time talk and then goodbye next year. Okay, they may come or they may not come. So can we create some sort of a mechanism so that the mentor are in touch with the mentee and they are getting some sort of a virtual hands-holding to enhance their capacity so that they would be in a better position to deliver? And the third one is, this fellows can be, the network of fellows can be an excellent platform for horizontal sharing of knowledge, experiences, good practices, whether you are working in Ladakh, or whether you're working in Kanyakumari or Northeast, so that we are sharing the best part, okay, so that the mistake which I did, somebody is not going to repeat those mistakes. The things which I have innovated or created, somebody is going to replicate, okay, whether we can apply those techniques or models or not. So these are my submission, Jerry. Thank you so much.
Brilliant, Stanton. And my basic formula is that whoever suggests should own up the process. So we'll have you owning up the process. But I think those are some brilliant thoughts over there. And yes, we should create a theme. I'll leave it to all of you to come up with the theme. We'll put it together. And as far as the mentor-mentee process is concerned, I think it's a continuous circle. Everybody is a mentor and everybody is a mentee. That's the way I see it. So we learn from each other and we teach each other. Thank you. Yes, sir. Bosco?
Well, I did not attend.
So you'll have to just face towards the camera, or you can come this side, yeah, so they can catch your...
I did not attend your previous sessions, and of course I had number of speakers. I don't know who all are working for senior citizens. Today senior citizens is a neglected lot. Youngsters, they don't bother over them. They don't talk to them. Domestic violence is there. They're depressed people. How many people of you, I mean, how many organizations who are working for senior citizens? Can I? Great. Well, I also started a small venture 5 years back when I saw a couple of depressed people in my sector. So I thought, what can I do for them? So I said, through music, they'll get together. First month, there were 6 senior citizens. Next month, 12. I organized singing and shairi for them. Like this process, it continued. Today I've got more than 450 senior citizens with me, and they interact every month. Every month I organize poetry, shairi and singing session for them in Gurgaon. I also organize big shows for them in Epicenter, India Habitat Center, and such places. And they help us out in that way. Idea is they get together, and we solve their problems also. Number of people are depressed, number of youngsters, उनकी properties की sign करवा लिए हैं, and they ill-treat them. So when we come to know, we help them. We also organize medical camps for them. Excursions, we keep on going to different places. What I mean to say, senior citizens today, they are neglected a lot. We have to work for them also.
Thank you, sir. Yes, we have a lot of NGOs in our collective who work with senior citizens. Silver Innings Sailesh Mishra actually is a very rights-based activist who works for the rights of senior citizens. He's not here today with us, he couldn't join us. But You're part of the network now, so please feel free to share your views, exchange ideas, and see how we can make a difference. Thank you.
Continuing with our Rex fellowships, firstly, we have Dr. V. Samuel Raj, Colonel Ratan Singh, and Mr. Karthikey Saini.
Karthik Saini is in Singapore today, and his chakra is being received by his wife, Bhaktawar Saini. Colonel Ratan Singh.
I'll speak few words for you. I'll just few words for you. Colonel Ratan Singh is Chairman Jafra. He is doing Nishkam Seva for the last 7-8 years, rather more than that. He's got more than 100 RWs under him and very influential with his personality in Gurgaon. He's one-to-one with DG Police. He one-to-one with Commissioner out here, with DC, with Municipal Corporation, and number of other social activities he's doing. And he's more than 83. I think big hand for him. Few words.
Thank you very much for giving me this honor. I'm really honored. Thank you very much. Actually, I've seen a lot of action in war. I've been a veteran, starting right from 62, Chinese operation and others. I've had a lot of hardships. Only message I want to give is that honesty, sincerity, and truthfulness, these are the things that is the one that give you the strength which no other thing can give you. You have a lot of, I did face a lot of difficulties in life, but I fought it and I finally won because of my strength. That is the message I want to give to the younger generation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Colonel Ratan. And I want to just add here that it's an honor to have him as a part of the Rex Karmaveer Global Fellowship, because he's been a huge voice of conscience within the army and has really kind of stood up and spoken out against what he believes in. I mean, for what he believes in. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next we have Mr. Abhinav Jindal, Mr. Aditya Nath Mubai, Ms. Charu Jain, Mr. Vivek Goel, and Mr. Orka Mukhopadhyay. Can we have Ms. Charu Jain, Mr. Vivek Goel, Mr. Orka Mukhopadhyay? Okay. Next, we have Mr. Ganesh, Kaizat Kotwal, Muktay Panchal, Pramila Rawat, and Sahil Malhotra.
So let me just congratulate Jerry and the iCONGO team for and his 350-member army for organizing such a great event, which brought us all together. And like many of my fellow citizens were mentioning about the various problems that they need to have a common theme for the next event and sort of groups. So coming from an IT background, let me just take the responsibility that all these problems can be sorted out through a website and through a common platform. So if anybody of you, would like to get in touch to get it all sorted out, then I'm all available. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have Ms. Vandana Priya Prasad, Puneet Asthana, Stanzin Dawa, Harsimran Singh Aluwalia, and Shashank Sethi. Congratulations. Congratulations.